if you are listening to this podcast right now and you're going through this journey, you are not alone. And I can assure you that your feelings are very valid. Whether you're scared, you're anxious, you're uncertain, you feel depressed, you have mood swings and all, you know. And more importantly, is that it is okay to seek help. So resilience is important. Yes, accept the pain, but more importantly is you must be resourceful enough to look forward to how you want to cope with the situation. So how you cope is actually very important. And I've said it earlier, seek for help. You have to lean on your support system. Cancer care is not something you want to journey alone. It's not just about money. It's about having people around, genuine people around, sharing quality feelings. Because that's the only way they would help you remember that you also need to take care of yourself. Because
Right.
as a patient reality, trust me, you might totally abandon who you are in the process of caring for um, and if you looked at her journey from, I think it was in the early 90s, the late 90s when she survived breast cancer, and she's been advocating for it from there. Her story was very inspiring because, she shared her lifestyle habits and how she has coped till now. So storytelling is very, very crucial because that is what fosters the connection. That is what makes you relate to the experience directly. And so people can see the human face to the problem we are facing. Another important strategy is actually working with religious institutions, going to mosques, going to church programs. It
For
necessarily does not have to
enlightenment,
be.
to create
Yes,
awareness.
yes. So, for example, last year, towards the end of the year, there are several camp programs. You know, and so we had visitation to camps, religious camps, to have this conversation. And the reason why it's important in that space is oftentimes than not, people think when the cancer condition arises, they go all spiritual, go taking concoctions, go taking a lot of herbal medicines just
I know.
to
Instead
find,
of seeking
you know,
medical care, they rather go through the spiritual route
yes,
first.
yes. And
We
even
are
some people,
Africans.
yes, and people actually deny their reality. So it leads to late detection of the nature of the condition, whether it is malignant or it is benign, when it is still a tumor or probably still just not so cancerous yet. So it's important that we talk about this in religious spaces so that people understand that yes, there's a space of religiosity or spirituality, but more importantly, God has given us the opportunity to be able to use science, to have clear evidence, and that's why we work with evidence-based
Yes.
data also. So these are conversations, and in workplaces too. Anytime we have mental health conversations in workplace settings, we ensure that we talk about cancer care too. Because if you look at the way HIV/AIDS struggle was mainstreamed in the early 2000s, initially people were scared about it. People had the stigma of talking about it. But in the present day, whoever even has HIV is just like a normal human being, who takes medication and
Right.
still lives a normal life, And so we need to normalize conversations around cancer care. And obviously, we use the digital platforms, social media, to talk
To
about
pass
this.
information.
Yes, and our website to accessing or giving access to those that want information around these conditions. And more importantly, finally, we are looking at how we can even partner with healthcare providers like the HMOs, because they offer webinar series to their communities. So we also we advocate through those platforms by speaking in online webinars about oncology care and psychosocial oncology. That's basically the mental health aspect of cancer care. Yeah. So
Thank you.
So that's it.
Thank you very much, MentorMoh, for this
You're welcome.
brilliant enlightenment. Now, for someone currently going through this journey, either as a patient, a survivor, or a caregiver, what message would you like to share with them? What message would you like to share with them?
Okay. Trust me, you're not alone. That's the first thing I want to say. If you are listening to this podcast right now and you're going through this journey, you are not alone. And I can assure you that your feelings are very valid. Whether you're scared, you're anxious, you're uncertain, you feel depressed, you have mood swings and all, you know. And more importantly, is that it is okay to, when the journey started, I realized how much the support we got along the way helped even improve how we actually managed my late sister's condition. So the first step to resourcefulness is knowing when and how to seek for help. It's very,
Yeah.
very okay to seek help, and so in conditions or situations like this, vulnerability is strength, and resilience is not about denying the pain, because you need emotional or mental resilience along this journey. You have to accept that pain, and that's why in therapy we offer acceptance commitment therapies. You have to
You have to
accept the
accept
pain.
it.
Yes, yes, and more importantly, develop hope. And hope in the field of positive psychology is about having the willpower and the willpower. And the willpower, most often time than not, is tied to our spirituality, our belief that God or a greater being is in control, and the beliefs of those around us, the kind of mindset of those around us. But the other part, which is the willpower, has to do with how do you find alternative pathways to solving the problem? How do you set goals, such that there's a future to look up to when you wake up every day? So resilience is important. Yes, accept the pain, but more importantly is you must be resourceful enough to look forward to how you want to cope with the situation. So how you cope is actually very important. And I've said it earlier, seek for help. You have to lean on your support system. Cancer care is not something you want to journey alone. It's not just about money. It's about having people around, genuine people around, sharing quality feelings, because that's the only way they would help you remember that you also need to take care of yourself. Because
Right.
as a patient relative, trust me, you might totally abandon who you are in the process of caring for your relative, your patient, and
I, I
it
I
can.
know as a
It,
caregiver also I know
yes,
how draining it can be when you have a patient you're actually
yes,
caring for a patient on the bed. I know it takes a lot of
it is.
emotions and it's really draining. I know
It
a lot
is.
of times you
It
see
is.
them actually also breaking down in one corner and they probably maybe they don't even have any support again. Thank
And
you
one,
very much.
I want to say this, please, too, that we need to also observe the small victories along the way.
You're right.
Like I said earlier, we worry about the end goal. I want this cancer to just vanish. But I would appreciate that both patient caregivers and relatives focus on the small wins along the way and reinforce those wins. Yeah, it's like still writing a story, and then the inspiration in that story is like a strength to many. So people shouldn't just give up in the process. It's about the process, not the end goal. Thank you.
As long as the tape is still rolling,
Yes,
there's hope, there's life. We should just
absolutely,
continue
absolutely,
moving. Thank you
absolutely.
very much, MentorMoh, for sharing your
Yeah,
insights and the amazing work of BlakMoh Wellbeing Foundation. Before we wrap
thank you
up,
so much.
where can our listener actually find more information about
Yeah.
you and about your support? And also, you are the first guest on this podcast. And from what you said, we understand Wellbeing Foundation is a foundation that actually offer support to cancer patients and their caregivers. I
Yes.
would also like to know, do you have any freebies for our subscribers, our listeners, probably those that don't have enough fund to book in for therapy session for now? Is there anything? Do you have any special package for them? And also for
Yes.
those that money is actually not too much of a problem for them.
Okay.
What do you have? What kind of support do you have? What kind of package do you have? And how can they actually reach you?
Okay. Thank you for that information. First is that my personal handle is at MentorMoh, If you just type as MentorMoh on any Google link, it's going to return my handle and you can reach out to me directly. Our website is www.blakmoh.com. So once you can also reach us through our website. There's a page for the foundation on the website, and I think I'm also on LinkedIn. But I think once you just type at MentorMoh, at MentorMoh, that will give you access to all this information. It's also going to return the website link. So, but once you reach us through the website, we will respond on time. Also, what I have for those who would want to benefit from our services. On a monthly basis, we have a quota to offering psychological first aid and support, psychosocial support to whether it's a patient or patient relative who is actually going through these experiences. So I still leave it open that you can reach out to us, and if the quota isn't met yet, you will still have access to the initial engagement, which is more of a single session therapy. And the focus of that therapy is to offer forth psychological first aid to help you manage your current realities, and also to give you insights and equip you with strategies and information on how you want to navigate this journey. Okay. So if there's a need for further sessions, then that will be discussed later, regardless of whether after the introductory session, actually, regardless of whether you have the capabilities or not. We also have sponsors sometimes who actually would say, MentorMoh, we want to pay for 10 therapy sessions for whoever needs it, so. But once you are on our database and we have those opportunities, we will be the one reaching out to you because we understand the struggle. You might not even remember that there's an opportunity somewhere. So once you're on our database, we consistently offer those messages on a regular basis to you to check in if there's a need to. So what I would say for your organization, we could give 10 slots of single session therapies to whoever is interested in listening to this talk. Yes, we give 10 therapies.
Did you just say 10?
Yes, I understand therapy is expensive these days, but
I know.
I'll be honored to offer that support. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, MentorMoh, for that. That's been generous of you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Very much.
And now we're actually wrapping up. Any last message for our listeners?
Life happens actually, and when life happens, your attitude towards the event is what actually does matter. I would say for the context of our conversation, you need all the help you can get, and that's why we are here to support you psychologically, emotionally, and socially. So please reach out for help. And I know, that would be a significant step towards the improved mental health on your journey as a cancer patient or a cancer relative or even a caregiver. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this conversation, MentorMoh. It's actually not being educative, but also brings some kind of emotional aspect to the whole thing of mental health and also cancer, the caregivers, the patients themselves. Well, if you're listening to this podcast and you're interested in the therapy session, kindly send me an inbox and tell me your name and details and when you would like to have it, so I can reach out to MentorMoh and take it up from there. And that's it for today's episode of Beyond Awareness Podcast. If you found this conversation valuable, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and also share with others. Thank you and have a blessed day. All right. Thank you, Mr. Moh. MentorMoh.